My name is Bumbasee, and you're now tapped in with Pass the Ox.
Welcome to Pass the Ox. You know me, my name's Peter Rico, and we're sitting down with Bumbasee.
Hello.
We're sitting down with the homie Alex. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for coming over.
Dude, it's an honor to be here.
I appreciate our warm-up small talk conversation that we were having. You know, now we're ready. We're serious now.
We're in it, you know. I wanted to sit down with you because I feel like you do a great job of promoting yourself.
Well, thank you.
Even though I don't think just in talking to you, you don't seem like
I'm still new at it.
Yeah.
This is like the first time I've really like actually tried, you know, to be an artist. I would say, where it's taking up most of my time, and realizing that like it or not, what it takes now is like you have to show who you are, and you have to like give people something to like latch onto,
right.
Other than just a song, because you know there's 100,000 songs uploaded every day, and now probably half of them are fucking AI. You know.
And before I ask you any questions, Spencer says he thinks your hair is cool.
Oh.
You wanted me to let you know that.
Oh no, Spencer. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, he says your hair is really cool.
Thanks, man.
All right, first
Damn
question.
it, dude. That fucker.
Yeah. I want to ask you about Anxious Avoidant, because that's my favorite song from you, personally. What really inspired that song? Where did that song come from? Because
A few years ago, I had like a brief rekindling with an ex of mine, and you know, it was like kind of a moment where we had been apart for a while, and then sort of checking in on a person, and then it makes you realize like patterns that you've gone through and been like, oh, how have your last 3 relationships been? Oh, you've been doing the same shit? I've been doing the same shit too. Realizing like, oh, we're at a different place now, and we've grown, but we're still on our nonsense. And anxious avoidant, you know, it's like an attachment style, anxious attachment, avoidant attachment. I don't know how much of it is like TikTok pseudo psychology, but I've noticed that like I fall in line a lot with like kind of some anxious behaviors, and that's like, you know, pulling away when confrontation happens, and sort of like wanting to keep the peace until it's like not kept, and then being like, all right, I'm out, bye. And I've noticed I tend to, you know, I end up with people who are anxiously attached, which is very much like I need a lot of love, I need a lot of reassurance, and like that's sort of the thing that makes the anxious person run away. And it's like, why do I keep doing this? But those people gravitate towards one another, and so I'm working on it. But I don't know, we're getting there.
we're getting there.
But yeah, I don't know if the person who it's sort of like inspired by it like knows. I'd never like send it to her like, hey, I wrote this after, you know, we were hanging out and I made some realizations about my life. But yeah, it was like a really special time, and it was interesting to check back in on a relationship years and years later, and think about it from sort of a detached perspective.
It's interesting that it's like your personal development in a song, wrapped up in a song. I believe that's why I connect with that. I really love the songs in artists' discographies where it comes from a special place. I've been listening to a lot of the song Dreams by Fleetwood Mac.
Okay.
I've been stuck on that song.
Amazing.
That song specifically, it made me go back and listen to the whole album.
Amazing.
Rumors. And the whole album is about toxic relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the song The Chain. If you don't love me now, never love me again.
Mm-hmm.
That song's about toxic relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And every song on there is about what they're going through. Apparently Stevie Nicks and the lead guitarist were like in
How
a
toxic.
really bad relationship
On the album.
all during the album. And they sang Dreams. She sang Dreams to him about what you had and what you lost. And he would be playing with her on the tour. And I'm like, this environment must be so jacked up.
Seriously.
So
Can you imagine the tension?
I cannot. I can't even imagine what it. Yeah. Like it.
Oh my god.
You got to be playing a song about you losing her.
Yeah.
And while you're witnessing her greatness, you know, like because Stevie Nicks is like incredible. What is your history with production, and how have you developed that?
Up until recently, I've been mainly a producer, and then always had the artist thing on the back burner. A lot of my last 10 years has been in the studio working with mostly like major label artists in like the LA writing like scene. It feels like you get set up on like little play dates sometimes. Like that person doesn't know you, you don't know the person. It's like your mommies and daddies were like, we should let them
get to know each other.
Yeah, and then like, there's a lot of times when an hour in, it's like, why did they set us up? It's like with production starting back, like I was in the band in high school, playing in the garage on the weekends and stuff. We were called What Makes a Man with a question mark. Alex, our drummer, who later became my production partner, we moved to LA together.
Alex and Alex.
That's what we went by. Our other friends in school, they'd be in bands and they'd be like, we paid a guy down at the junior college to record our EP, and they would just play this hot garbage like that they paid, like they pooled all their money from working at Hollister together to get the shittiest thing you ever heard. And we're like, I think we could do that. I don't know. I can ruin this song for free.
You could do that without paying any money.
We started, just like trying to record ourselves, twisting knobs. And I think my junior or senior year, I got a laptop and I started on Reason and Pro Tools. Actually, I started on my parents' desktop, and it had 500 megabytes of storage. And it took me like 5 hours to figure out how to record like a guitar into it. And I pressed record. I'm like, finally got it going. It recorded for like 30 seconds and it filled up the whole computer like with one wave file. And that's when my parents were like, all right, it's time. We'll get him a laptop.
Yeah.
And was just started making like kind of postal service / 303 style like beats on my laptop, on my white MacBook.
White guy music.
Yeah, white guy music for sure, dude. Hey, I liked Kanye too. Also,
Kanye fits in white guy music. Don't get that twisted. Kanye West definitely made white guy music, but it's like it's so accessible to everybody. Perfect white guy music, Kanye West.
Oh gosh. Yeah, so I was doing that, and then like I felt like I'm getting a grasp on it. Like me and Alex, we continued. He was the drummer in the band that we recorded ourselves. We were like, let's do the DJ thing. We loved like Mike Snow. I don't know if you're familiar. That like sort of hybrid of like, oh, there's like dance stuff, but then there's like pianos going on, and we were both like from sort of like a more song writery world, so that felt cool. So we started doing that, and we submitted. We were playing like the hockey team, like frat party essentially, in college. Just bringing like
that's gonna be lit though.
A 15-inch sub and
that's
like
a party.
The windows like it was awesome.
Yeah.
And like no one ever paid us, so we just did whatever the hell we want.
I would just good nights.
Oh yeah, I would test out
nights.
demos.
Yeah.
Like being able to make something during the day and then like try it out on a sweaty dance floor with like 150 college kids. I was like, this is tight.
It's pure.
And then when you're like, oh, that was a crappy beat.
Yeah, because nobody danced.
Yeah, everyone's outside. And we were doing like kind of house, electro house, but with like organic instruments and songs, like proper choruses for the most part, and verses and stuff. And we submitted to the Discovery Project, which is like a EDC or Insomniac. They do EDC, and the Discovery Project is like an unsigned artist gets to play EDC essentially. So he submitted an original song in like an hour mix or something, and I submitted it. And we freaking won. And
wow.
Yeah.
So you played EDC?
So we played EDC.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah.
See, I said EDM, right? Because I was like, I can hear it in there. Mm-hmm. I would never call you an EDM artist in my life. I would never call you a techno or electronic artist. But I hear the influence in even your modern music. Anything you've made, I hear it in there.
I mean, just production wise, like dance music is just so fascinating, and like it's changing so quick, and I love it. And I kind of stepped away from it for a while, like when I was really heavy into like LA songwriting sessions, because it was like, oh, that's too dancey, it's kind of like what you hear a lot. But weird. Recently I'm like, I still love it, and I'm like, I'm gonna go to the warehouse tonight at midnight and dance.
The EDC crowd is awesome. The way they love the music is awesome. So like, I just wish we had more audiences that weren't so drowned out by like the streaming and the fast food music, and who really were passionate about the sound and really were down to get sweaty dancing
that is
to
the
music
thing that
for
I
3
love.
hours.
Exactly, like that it's one of the only like scenes that the people go, and it almost doesn't matter who they're hearing a lot of the times, because they're there for like, they know what kind of experience they're going for, and they love like to move, and they're not like, you know, there's going to be people with their arms crossed being like, what's he doing with the faders? But like for the most part, like people don't care. But like when you know, in bands, or like if you go see a singer or something, that very much is sort of the mentality. It's like, prove to me that you're good. But dance music doesn't, like a kick drum doesn't have anything to prove.
Just gotta make you
it's
feel.
just going.
Just gotta make you feel.
So yeah, we played EDC. There was a mix up on they were supposed to put us on the small stage, like the Discovery Project stage, and like they mixed it up. They put us on the freaking main stage. It was we played
amazing.
First in the day, so it was only like, I don't know, less than 1,000 people probably. But like,
that's still a lot.
I'm like looking at the you know, the list of people that are playing on that stage, and it's like Zed, Calvin Harris, Madion, Porter Robinson,
At
and
least
then
they didn't put you after them.
I would have loved to go
after. You after them.
That would have been great.
That would have been hard to follow up. Those guys are great.
It would have been boot camp. It would have been good. I would have failed upwards, I think.
I think that is, yeah. You know, maybe they would have been like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Like, you would have got the effect of like a legend. He
that
went
guy
after
fucked up so bad. Book him again so we can see that shit.
Yeah, we need that.
Yeah.
Who inspired the song Neck Brace?
Neck Brace. That was inspired by my ex-girlfriend. Yeah, she had dumper on her. It's about appreciation song.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're gonna play Neck Brace for you right now from Bumbasee.
I know a good thing when I see it, and you a good thing, and I believe it. That's not a white lie, and you're not colorblind. I love the way you see the world, and you're otherworldly behind. I need a neck brace, 'cause I broke it just to check you out. Yeah. You look so good, babe. I'm tossing racks and wish you was. Oh, oh, oh. Sometimes things don't make any sense, no. I need a neck brace, 'cause I broke mine just to check you out. Feeling so good, thing.
That was some music by Bumbasee. Man. So, Hot Frosty.
Hot Frosty.
Why did you feel we needed a Christmas banger of an album?
You know, I didn't think that anyone needed it. I needed it. This was 2 years ago, and I had the last like 6 months of my year, I had like unfulfilling session after unfulfilling session, where people were like, you know, I've sort of built up a little bit of a reputation as like a producer that you go to when you like want to try something a little different.
Right.
Or you want to like do the weird one on the album, or like, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, that's awesome. Those have always been my favorite songs on CDs. When I would buy a CD, I'd be like, I like track 9. And I just had all these people coming in me, and just for that reason, but then not taking any chances. And I'm like, this is exhausting. It's like, I'm not here to write like Taylor Swift B-sides,
right,
you know,
right.
where everything is safe. Nothing is like, well, someone might not like that thing. And then the final breaking point was like, someone showed up and they're like, I don't know what to do. Maybe we do Silver Bells, and then just like we just did the most uninspiring cover of Silver Bells or what, I don't even remember what it was. And then they left, and I was just like feeling really like just despondent, and like the back half of this year has been lame, and I just turned some distortion on the guitar, and I was just like ah. And I was just kind of like, I'm gonna write a punk song. And then I was just kind of getting some lyrics going, and then I made a like something rhymed with snowman, and I was like, uh-oh. And then I was like, another line, something Christmas themed, and I was like, oh no, I'm making a punk song about Christmas. And then I made Party at the North Pole was the first one off of Hot Frosty. Thinking about like Bad Santa, right?
Yes.
You know, like, you know, the mall Santa who's like smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
And like Hot Frosty in my head is like a dirty snowman.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like it's like made out of the snow that's like piled up after a few days, like on the side of the road. It's kind of dark.
You don't want to touch.
Yeah. It's got like, it's like dog poop coal buttons.
It got rocks in it.
Yeah.
If you throw a snowball, it's gonna like pierce somebody.
Exactly. That energy was just like so fun to be in, especially after like doing all, you know, months and months of songs where I was like, this is like unfulfilling, no risks, this isn't gonna stick with anybody. I don't even remember what we wrote, you know what I mean? And then like 11 days after starting that one, I was done like with the whole album,
right? And
like I'm like at Thanksgiving recording my grandmother's talking, like doing elf skits, and I'm texting my friends like, I have a plan, text me some, you know. I was just having help from friends, and collaborated with Spencer on a few of them. He's on Fishing for Christmas,
right?
He's on that one where he goes right into the bit. I'm telling you, he's got that like deep voice. He could just snap right into it. Yeah,
I love the Xmas barbecue. That was such a play. That's what I'm saying. It's a joke, but it's teetering on genius.
Oh, thank you.
I have all this coal. I'm gonna have a barbecue for Christmas. That is genius.
Oh, thank you, man. I tried to not take anything too seriously, but then also, there's this little twinges of truth there, or little clever things.
My favorite track is the closing track, Choo Choo Train.
Me too.
Because it's that moment where I feel like you're not joking anymore. If I played that one at Macy's, right, during Christmas, people are actually gonna be like, huh. I like people are actually gonna feel jolly.
I appreciate that you say that, because that one, I think I included that one for people that were paying attention, like yourself, like where
it's like a reward for getting to the album.
Yes, for getting through all of the skits and the voices.
That's a weird way to put it. Getting through it.
And then it's revealed like, oh, it's just a little boy who likes this little choo-choo train. That one, like when I was recording it, I was like, this is making me cry.
That was a treat. That was a treat while diving into your discography, man.
Oh, thank you.
Because I didn't know what to expect off Hot Frosty.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone can be truly prepared for it.
You're not ready for it, especially if you're like a jingle bells type of rock around the Christmas tree. You're not gonna know what to expect with this album. So tap in if you love Christmas. It's a very, very, very special project.
Or if you hate Christmas,
if you hate Christmas, actually, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
definitely an album that's worth it for people who hate Christmas.
It's really for anyone.
We're gonna wrap it up with a fan question. We have a very personal and fan question here. How'd you get the name Bumbasee?
Oh, Bumbasee. So it's a made-up word that I can't tell it's a made-up word that my parents made up. They're like twisted, but in like a fun way, you know. Like hopefully, like I come across twisted in a benign way. But they kind of had like a little bit of an existential crisis on the way home from the hospital when I was born. They're like, they gave us a baby. They're like they didn't check to see if we were crazy or not. They just gave us this baby. Like, we have to tell it up is down, or up is up, you know, left is right. We could like mess it up if we could just totally confuse this thing. We have to teach it everything. And they're like, we don't want to do that, but we want to like do something. And so they told me Parmesan cheese was called Bumbasee. And so growing up, Parmesan cheese was Bumbasee, and we had spaghetti like pretty often. And so like, you know, like the already shredded Parmesan in the little, you know, the powder kind, that was always Bumbasee. And I was like 12, maybe 13 when I learned that was a fake word. And so it's just always been Bumbasee. And when I started, you know, doing my own artist stuff and thinking of a name, that's always been like a fun family inside joke. And it kind of represents how like things are what you say they are, and it doesn't have to have a definition. And I think it just sort of fits perfectly with like nothing really matters that much, you know. And it's a little silly. It's got like a nice little story to it. It's a little hard to say and pronounce and stuff, but we're in too deep at this point. But you know what? Like anything could be Bumbasee, you know, whether it's the music I'm making, whether I'm making you know, if I'm doing more comedy stuff, who cares? Well, Bumbasee is what you say it is. Could be cheese.
That is incredible.
Thanks, man.
Wow.
I'm sure my parents will be pleased to hear you say that.
That's awesome. Just the way you created that. That's beautiful, man. Well, Bumbasee, I want to thank you for allowing us to sit here and go over yourself as an artist, man, and really get into that. Where can we support you as fans of your music? For people who've never heard any Parmesan cheese, where can we tap in with you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm Bumbasee everywhere. It's right here on the screen. Thumbnail guy. Bumbasee everywhere. On Spotify, on YouTube, on TikTok, Instagram. On my Spotify, I also have like a playlist of things that I've like produced for other people. If you want to like dive a little more down the rabbit hole. And I'll just be out here being annoying on the internet for the foreseeable future.
Well, thank you so much, Bumbasee, for allowing us to be here, man. That's the episode. Clap it up. We love you guys.
Thanks, man.
No, thank you.